I do. I really do. So, who wants to be the fantastic person to give us that real quick recap on what happened last week?
Yeah, I gotta know.
Well, we did the Trials of Three from
started
Atina's sister. Yeah, started them. The first one, we ended up fighting some ice glyphs and a ghost.
Arini
Although Arini was not physically here, somebody came up with a fucking Hail Mary of a word that half of us had to Google what it was.
Short little thing. Arini has to know because Arini and Ono have bunked together multiple times, and it just makes a lot of sense that Arini is looking over Ono's shoulder. And disapparate is one of the weird words. She goes, "What the hell does that mean?" And Ono's like, "Oh, that's just a weird thing that like ghosts do, or like you can do to dematerialize in and out of planes." And Arini remembered it and commanded the ghost to disapparate.
That's
Which
fitting.
was
I am very nosy and she takes after me.
Thank you.
which in the end, I don't know if it was super helpful, but
It gave
well,
us.
yeah, it
did
gave us a one or two round break from the ghost. Then he comes back. Spit and I both fail our con checks or whatever. I aged 20 years along with Spit, so Spit went from a child to a
Grown
grown
goblin man.
full orc.
Spit went through puberty in the matter of 6 seconds.
Ultimately,
Right.
hold on. As a side note, God could be really forgiving and turn Spit into like a regular old goblin, or there is in some iterations goblins turn. This is how goblins turn into bugbears. So, just saying.
Can you just say bugbear?
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, this is how bugbears are born. Technically, they are when goblins reach a certain maturity level and like a certain ascension. It's like evolution for goblins to turn into a bugbear. You can turn into a hobgoblin and you can turn into a bugbear.
What is a bugbear?
It's a bit. Imagine
It is neither a bug or a bear.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
imagining a bear-sized bug or a bug-sized bear.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a werewolfy kind of humanoid-sized goblin, essentially.
It was like a hairy gremlin.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is.
A bear-sized bug would be like an Umber Hulk, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I would prefer a
Imagine
bug-sized
Ludo.
bear. That would be very cute.
I imagine like
rather fight.
a humanoid Ludo from Labyrinth. That's kind of like what when like somebody's like, "This is a bugbear," I'm like, "That's a bugbear." If anybody's
Anyways.
a reference. But no, we gotta get him back to being a baby.
So, phase 1 completed. Yay. We can't celebrate too long because if we spend more than 10 minutes not doing the task at hand in an alternate dimension where time passes but doesn't pass, we have to do it all over. So second one, we had a puzzle that we had to solve. First time, Bictune took 17 damage for grabbing the wrong one.
Again,
then we came up with the idea
second time
to
Athros proves his genius.
go through, grab the heart. I take it from Bictune, place it, and immediately dip away to a quote-unquote safe distance, which solves the riddle. On to door 3 immediately afterwards. Atina's little sister now decides the only way to talk to the lady in the frozen ice is to sacrifice one of us, and I'll do it. So we are...
The lady in the ice is the High Priestess.
High Priestess Frigus?
Yeah,
The
Frigus.
Frigus?
Frigus,
Yeah.
yep.
Well, Master or Grand Priestess Frigus.
Who has not been awoken since Oral took over?
Since the everlasting rhyme had begun.
Yeah,
Everlasting.
10
Okay.
years ago, about.
Ever since Eminem.
Between 3 and 5, roughly.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And Oral has had, just for clarification, this has been Oral's domain for an extremely long time, but something has happened that is causing everything to get worse, which I'm assuming we'll figure out over the course of this campaign. So, as you all... Yeah, basically, the last thing that the party remembers is stepping into the third room, seeing, encased in a giant crystal, holding a small, glowing object of some kind, is Master Priestess Frigus. Frigus, however you pronounce it, doesn't matter. In my world. as you have Maetra standing before you all, I would say maybe at this point you're about 30, 40 feet from essentially the casket with the two pedestals in front of the large crystal. And she was willing to cast herself into this casket of ice, given that you have all pretty much paved the way to get here up to this point.
Well, before we go doing anything foolish like that, little girl, considering you had me communicate with her already, just telepathically do that again?
I didn't have you communicate with her telepathically. I communicated with you telepathically.
Okay, well, can you establish that with her?
She would pull out from her pocket a small stone. I used this to talk to you. And, oh no, if you see the stone, you would recognize this as a limited use sending stone. Maybe has 1 or 2 total charges left, but it recharges every day. I can use this to connect with people who I have been given information about across the north. And she looks back to the giant crystal. Frigus put an image in my mind of you, Iibryn, and told me to summon you here. So I used this to call out to you and have you come here.
So Frigus has talked to you, and now you talk to me through the stone. So can't you just three-way stone this situation before somebody has to do something foolish? My guy just kind of looks at her confused, like,
Yes, we're gonna threaten you.
well, no, but like, Frigus has now talked to you while she's in this ice block. You talk to me through a stone, so can't I talk to you? You talk to her, and we kind of play back and forth for a little bit.
I mean, that's all fun and games, but and like she holds the stone and looks down at it. I could probably only do that once, maybe twice before this stone would shatter, and you can only send a one-way message this way. So it wouldn't be as beneficial as if she just was here talking to all of you, which is why I'm willing to cast myself in ice, and I very much don't want to do that.
But
Wait, so if you do that, then she gets out of the thing over there?
She would, yes, to make a long and complicated story short, I would, I think, be swapping places with her, but I don't know if that's a permanent thing or just so she can talk to you.
I look over to Aethros. So if instead me and my friend here decided to just break it.
Yeah, it's just ice. I've broken ice before.
Yeah.
No, this isn't just like, oh, I'm stuck in a frozen glacier. This is like a magical prism.
I don't know if I would recommend that.
It's not fine. You can destroy her.
Iibryn would look behind us. Is the door still open to get into this portal?
The door is sealed shut.
Can you reopen the portal and I come back in?
Why would you need to leave?
So, if I'm understanding this correctly, Frigus just needs a body, correct?
She needs a living soul.
Doesn't matter who, right?
They need to have not undergone the rite to the rite of passage into the faith, which is something that I can fulfill, but many of the people in the church cannot.
Let me find a bug then. Hang on.
I mean,
So
I could find
here's
a
the thing,
random
like if this Frigus lady is
person
so
off the street.
important, why haven't you've just found someone already? Like I think that would be pretty easy to find someone to swap places with.
Because that would put the church in bad light. We're already under fire because of the acts of Sefik Caltro, and we are not a bad
they
place.
volunteered. Now they're nice. They can't say no. Like
it's a difference between someone who's within the church trying to fulfill that purpose versus us grabbing somebody off the street and saying, hey, do you want to put yourself in an ice casket, possibly never coming back?
Can I make a quick arcane or history check?
Yes, what are you trying to discern?
Essentially something to the favor of, like, we can't... It's more of, like, this is equal and equivalent exchange is what Ono is deducing.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Sick. I'm just going to make
I'd like to do an Arcana as well, but I'm doing it for the fact that I've got one psionic energy die left, and I want to see if my psionic ability, I can just communicate with her directly and maybe not have to sacrifice somebody. Because the ice is magic, so that might be a way to kind of loophole it.
So my thinking is, Ono's thinking is that, yeah, it needs, like, an actual, like, vessel who is equally within the faith description as someone who is able to, like, equivalently be exchanged for who is inside of this vessel, is where Ono is coming from and thinking about it, like, magically. And I feel like this couldn't be like, hey, we're gonna go grab a bum from the bar. Funny as good as I think that could be.
I want Ono to also... I want you to also make a history check, just alongside that one.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna guide myself on that one, too.
As you're pondering this over.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
So... Yeah, okay, that's perfect. So as Ono, as you have... you've had a bit of travel in your days leading up to you coming to the Frozen North. You recognize that this is a practice that there are some faiths that follow besides the Church of Oral. Generally speaking, this is a equivalence exchange in a sense that you're probably thinking you need one person to you need to trade places with another person. Whether or not this is a permanent fix or a temporary one is hard to say. Generally, if it's a permanent fix, the people have to have an equal output of magical energy. Given that this is a high priestess and a smaller individual in the faith, it might not be permanent. It might not last for very long, but that's about what you could discern, given the circumstances.
I feel like this is like one of those things where she is, unfortunately, though it is, she is our best case scenario in getting the person we actually need out of there for at least a long enough time for them to come up with a solution for trapping, Maetra, unfortunately, in this arcane crystal. I am uncomfortable by it, but I feel like that's really our quick and only solution. So, Maetra, while I do think this is it's foolish, could we try not this part? I think this is actually a great idea. Could we try the telepathy thing real quick before we are like, yeah, thumbs up, go ahead and get in the crystal?
If that is what you wish.
Iibryn.
Can I do the Arcana check to see if it would work first, or...
Yeah, actually, yeah, you could do that. That's fine. I'm sorry, I forgot that you asked that earlier.
I'm gonna guide you.
I was gonna say, does anyone want to give me advantage, or...
Could anything that I've done at least given him the advantage to be like
I'll
the
allow it.
wherewithal? Okay, cool. So then
Advantage and guidance? Oh, this might
well,
be...
if Aethros guides you, but
I'll guide you, sure.
Okay, I'm giving you advantage, so you have the aid with me.
Or you can just add my Arcana.
Well, I rolled a
bonus.
24, so I did...
You want, like, private rolls?
Yeah, you didn't really
Yeah.
get it.
Oh, no!
We didn't
I
see
am
it.
on self-roll.
You
That's
didn't
okay, I saw it.
do a roll. Oh.
But I would still change it back to public.
Yep, I just did.
As you tap into your own magical abilities, the psionics of your bloodline flowing through your veins, for a moment you feel a glimmer of magical energy not just emanate from your body, but you feel a connection between yourself and the stone, not establishing your psionic connection, but just feeling the waters to see if maybe what you have might work, and you feel very confident that it would.
Ooh.
I would kind of look at the party and look at Maetra and be like, all right, well, I feel like if I use my last psionic ability, I'm going to be able to communicate with her.
Do it.
My only, I guess, concern is if I get somehow, like, absorbed by her, I guess, or we end up switching places that funky loophole way.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
That's
do it.
highly likely.
Do it.
What am I asking her? Because if I'm remembering correctly, Psionic Whispers, I'm basically playing telephone in between everybody. It doesn't just loop everything.
No,
Together,
you're gonna have
correct?
to. Yeah, you're asking the key questions, and you got to get.
Yeah,
the
like, why
answer.
did she want to talk to you in the first place?
Why does she want to get out? Maybe. Possibly.
Does she even want to get
That's
out?
a good. Is for okay. Hold on. Those are all extremely great questions. Yes, we need to ask her why were we contacted in the first place, and then is Maetra the only viable candidate to exchange bodies with? And then, is there another alternative instead of exchanging bodies? Can we just do can we do it a spell or something, or find a way
Yeah.
to like crack this sucker? Though I feel like those are the top three.
Oh, and ask her how
Well,
much she'll pay us to do this for her.
Oh.
Get her out of this.
I go for a high five, which would be a low five for Aethros.
Yeah.
I feel like some milk.
Well, should I also bring up the fact that is it going to be exchanging places, or is she taking over? And
I feel like that's
as I kind of like turn away from Maetra, a Tina situation.
No,
again?
I feel like that's like question 2. That's looped into question 2. Like, do you really need to take Maetra? Is there another alternative? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of lumped in.
Before I do
Or
it,
she
I would
finally
look at
being nice.
before I would do it, I'd look at Maetra and be like, last time Frigus was out, what happened?
Well,
Did she go on a murder spree, create havoc?
Yeah, why is she nice?
Yeah, I'm like, I'd kind of look at Aethros and be like, thank you. I think we didn't address the big issue here. Why is she 80 feet tall and stuck in ice?
Is this a bit crazy?
Maetra would like shake her head, and she'd look down at her. She'd look down at her feet, and then look back up at you. I think you all have a misunderstanding of the Church of Oral. Master Priestess Frigus is in the ice to save 10 towns, not to harm 10 towns. She was
a personal sacrifice.
This is for your. She's struggling like to say what she wants to say, not because she doesn't know the answer, but because she doesn't know if she should say it.
I'd kind of put my arm on her
Who is
shoulder
she
and be like,
saving
just
in 10 towns and
tell
for
us.
what?
You have threatened this child multiple times, and now you're going to like put your arm.
Yes,
around them to comfort them?
Iibryn has apologized for that. He would get down to her level, put his arm on her shoulder, and be like, tell us.
These are like your fantasy style abuser tactics. Get away from this child.
Yeah.
You are scarring this little girl.
Iibryn-
Needs to put on the list.
Iibryn, as you put your arm on her shoulder, make a dexterity saving throw.
Thank you. We're calling like Child Protective Services.
Yeah.
Normal?
Hello, CPS?
Yep, standard dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, it's Iibryn again.
Ooh. That was not good.
She threw him on the ground.
Smack it in the nose.
Judo flipped him. No, Judo flipped him.
All right.
Yeah.
As you put your arm on her shoulder, you feel her tense up. Her arms themselves not being hostile, but this appears to be a natural reaction to somebody grabbing onto her or trying to touch her when she does not want to be touched. And you take 9 cold damage as your hand is overcome with a sheet of ice. Don't touch me.
Oh, She's a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man.
Everybody be cool. No pun intended. Iibryn, back away from the little girl.
Yeah.
Let's...
Wait, so,
I just say, yeah, nice, and go for a high five with her.
Yeah.
Like, does she
She
high five me
would.
back?
She would kind of like shrink back and avoid your high five. All of you just
I'm not
give
gonna
me
leave
a
him
little
hanging.
bit of space.
Okay, all right. Chill out.
So wait, so
back
what
to why
what you're
she's-
saying? Yeah, so what you're saying is what we're dealing with right now is the best possible version of this.
She's a savior?
I wouldn't call her exactly a savior, but she is the current chosen of Oral.
Like,
And to help stave off the end of 10 towns, she has encased herself in ice so that the cold and the nightmares that have ensued within these 10 towns do not consume the entirety of the north.
Now hold up. Isn't Oral the person that's responsible for all the cold and suffering of the people? And you're saying that Oral chose this person to save the people she's causing all the suffering towards?
my brain hurts.
Like,
I
Oral
think
seems
in
like the bad person here.
No, I
and-
think in the sense of like, okay, so
Even people with hostile natures can have a sense of morality.
I want to do an insight check.
Go for it.
Give myself guidance.
Okay.
Oh, that's so great.
So, Maetra herself, given the current circumstances and her being held at knife point earlier in the day, she's not trying to deceive you. It does seem a bit out of the norm for a being of higher or lower deity status to choose somebody who isn't perfectly aligned with their decisions, with their not just their faith, but their overall sense of purpose. This seems like it completely contradicts what normally would happen in any other circumstance. And Maetra doesn't seem very keen on talking about that, doesn't seem to enjoy talking about it, but seems that you all should know it.
I feel like this is one of those situations where the deity or lack thereof is like, I've given you an option, and this is the way for you to lessen what I'm going to do anyway, for me to take your power. And it's like, we're gonna get screwed, but at least I can lessen it by putting myself in this weird chrysalis.
Before, and she's like, she seems to want to start sentences and then changes her mind. If she wasn't in the crystal, everybody in 10 towns would have been dead at least 2 years ago.
See, that makes so much sense. Iibryn.
So, if we take her out of the crystal, then people die?
Well, I feel like if we take her out and we
Oh
don't
yeah, if we're swapping
waste her-
places.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. If we're gonna take one of the legs out of this 3-post stool, we have to put a leg back. And
Mhm.
if that's why I think if Iibryn can talk to Frigus and be like, "Is there another option? Do we have to do this? Is this safe?" All those good questions that we came up with earlier. Finger guns to Iibryn. We can at least go in with this a little bit happier, and then we can go through with this. This is arcane technology, a little bit beyond my ken, because this is more of a religious thing.
Hey, that's my thing.
I don't like churches.
That's 100% fair. I wasn't gonna lean on you on this time because I know you're not a big fan.
Yeah, Iibryn, let's just go talk to her.
Iibryn, what you have messaged me, what are you planning on doing? Because I don't want
guess
to do
during-
like secret tech stuff if it's not.
No, okay. So
100%
basically,
relevant.
while the party was talking to Maetra, and after she either advertently or inadvertently did damage to me, I probably would have walked away from the party, went to like the edge of the cliff towards Frigus, and then basically established my psionic ability to her. I would have shook my head at Maetra first, walked away, and then went to the edge.
If you're trying to do so stealthily, I'll have you roll a stealth check to go against people's passive perceptions. Okay, so I don't think there's anybody in the party who has a passive over 25.
My
Yeah, he was
not
separated.
So as the party is like, hey, Iibryn,
Where's
you,
that,
you should just do that thing.
Yeah.
He would already
Where's
be farther away. And
and
you said you were going to use your psionic ability?
yeah, I would use my last slot and just use psionic whispers.
We can take a nap later.
As the party
Did I
looks
hear
over...
Ono say that?
I said that above table.
I'm going to say no, because I was above table.
Oh, okay. I was like, dang it. I wanted to bring that up. Could we take a short or long rest in here and still not trials? Never mind.
As everybody looks over, looking for Iibryn, they would see he's standing right at the edge of the cliffside, overlooking where the crystal with Frigus currently is. What everybody would see is... Well, actually, no. Iibryn, what do you want to say?
Are we doing it in here or private?
Nah, it depends on what you say.
I guess I
Or
would...
realistically.
Well, it's telepathically speaking.
No, but how far are you from us?
Well, we can't.
Yeah, I know that, but just for my frame of reference.
Oh.
Also, were you only going to connect to her, or were you going to connect to any other party members too? Because you could roll your dice to determine dice determines how long it lasts, but you can do up to 2 people.
Hmm.
Yeah, you could have someone else talk to her if you wanted.
Well, you
Well,
would talk to
no,
me,
it's
then I would talk to
we
her.
can only talk to Iibryn, so it would be that he establishes a connection with Frigus, and then Frigus can talk to him, and then we could only psychically talk to him. We couldn't hear what she's saying.
Yeah, as an action, you choose one or more creatures you can see up to a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus.
Which is 2.
Yeah, so you
That
choose a
is-
creature, then you
So-
choose...
The creatures that... Oh, okay, I see. I see what we're talking about here. For the sake of the way we used it in Brinchander and the other time that you used this power for its telepathic reasons, I would say that it would be a game of triangular telephone, whoever is connected to. So if you're connected to 2 other people, the 3 of you could talk to each other, but if you connected to other groups of people, you would have to convey to each individual group what's being said. But for the sake of ease of communication, I would say that anybody who's connected to him in each grouping would all be able to communicate with each other. So if you connected to Frigus and Aethros, the 3 of you could talk to each other. But then if you also use that again to connect to Ono and Bigtoon and Iibryn could talk to each other, and Iibryn, Aethros, and Frigus could all talk to each other, but you wouldn't be able to all be on the same conversation. Just for sheer fun.
I guess as I'm standing, 3 feet away from the ledge here, I would turn back to the party and basically be like, anybody else want to talk to her before I go?
Within a mile, so if you pick one of us, Ono has their spell book open, quill at the ready.
I mean, I'm always ready to take notes and transcribe.
Yeah, he's smart.
Hell no, I'm not good at that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just make things more complicated.
I mean, besides Irini standing over my shoulder and telling me to make words that rhyme and us turning this into a badass song, which I'm completely suggesting, yeah, like Irini and I are your top picks.
Iibryn would sit down, pretzel-legged, pull out his pipe, start smoking it. I would establish the psionic link with Frigus, Ono, and Irini.
Well, you up to your proficiency modifier, so it'd be you and one other person. Well, two other people. So Frigus and one party member, unless you have more dice to spend.
No, I would just go with Ono then.
Okay. Look at the ready.
Okay. So, Iibryn, as you send out this mental link, you feel yourself connecting first with Ono. Him being someone that you're familiar with and that you've connected with before comes with relative ease, and you feel a bit of pushback, but you're able to make a connection within the crystal with Master Priestess Frigus.
You rang?
When you say that, it sounds like we're in an ice tunnel.
That's what you want to say? You rang?
Yeah. You summoned us here. You spoke to me, and for some reason, me directly.
So, everybody who's watching this silent conversation take place would see, at this moment, Ono and Iibryn look like as though they have been pushed backwards by someone's hand. I want Iibryn and Ono to join me on the individual moments channel.
Oh.
Secret conversation!
Could I say, damn it, did he already leave? No, okay, he left.
Yeah, he did.
Could I say that Ono has enough concentration to have their quill going to write our conversation down?
Alright, can you still hear me?
For the sake of what you asked, I would say yes, your conversation could be carried in quill. I would say your connection with your spellbook, because it's so second nature to you, could transcribe some of your thoughts.
Oh, sick. Okay, cool.
So, what you... Oh, let's see, let me get my shit up.
You can still hear me?
I can still hear you, yes.
It's still saying it can't find my mic, so that's why I asked.
Ono and Iibryn, you feel a response coming to you, but it feels... Unlike your connections with, like, Atina or Irini in the past, where it comes to you as the form of a thought, this feels to rush towards you in the form of what oddly feels like a wave of energy. Your vision is engulfed in a bright white light. When your vision returns to you, Iibryn, you recognize the events that are about to transpire. You see, as your vision comes to you, you two are looking through the eyes of who Iibryn will recognize as his father. Iibryn, you look down from the visage of your father, and you see a young you, battered and bloodied, and honestly on death's door. An arrow sticking through your shoulder, and the sound of what appears to be hundreds of footsteps making their way in your direction. The figure, your father, looks up and you see the visage of your mother. Someone who you have not seen in a very, very long time. Her traditional white hair of the drow, wearing a form of, not necromantic, but mage-like garbs, standing at the entrance of a cave, a small plateau of sorts, about halfway up a small mountain. You hear your mother. Will, are you sure that's a good idea? As you see your hand, that hand of your father, opening up a scroll, uttering an incantation, and you see a doorway open to a location that does not reveal itself, just a radiant yellow doorway. He picks you up by your neck, not like your neck, like the scruff on your the clothes that you're wearing, and pushes you into that doorway. He'll be fine. Lyclor will take care of him. After all, he owes me a favor. The doorway closes. The footsteps get louder. You hear orders being barked to surround the area as your mother begins opening up her own portal of sorts. Different in color, different in design. You look down the mountain. About 50 feet away, you're beginning to see soldiers, which you would recognize through your father's eyes as what are known as FOT soldiers, or Fall of Tyranny Militia, coming to slay the two of you. I can open up a gateway, but it's only going to take us so far. And your father looks to your mother. You go. I'll be the one to hold them off. Take care. As he turns away from her one final time, you hear the sound of her footsteps disappearing through the gateway, and with an audible pop, disappears. As he begins to take a combative stance, his radiant short sword at the ready. Your vision slips once again, being pulled in a different direction, the two of you moving farther ahead in time. This time your vision does not take up the mantle of your father's, but another figure. It's a rainy afternoon, laying on a wasteland in a location you are not familiar with. You see your arms themselves are furry and pawed, very similar to Bictoon's. You see an older, much older version of your father, his elven features though still keeping him in a youthful, middle-aged state. He seems to be bleeding out. His armor, not the shining, shimmering, paladin-like armor that he had worn before, but it seems to be ragged and leather. He extends his hand outward and places it on one of the pauldrons of this figure that we're currently looking through. I want you to carry this. It's the least I can do, given all your troubles. And the furry figure responds, I will carry it in your name. Long live the Eldorius house. And you see your father hand him his radiant short sword. And he puts it off to the side as your father seemingly loses consciousness, his head falling to the side as he bleeds out on the battlefield. As he stands up, this figure standing up, he picks up the sword and he turns back, and you see an enormous caravan of Leonin traveling across this land. We shall carry on his name proudly. House Eldorius. And you hear them shout it back. As your vision dissipates once more, this time, when the light comes back, you see what you had just seen now through the eyes of a drow, looking through what Iibryn you would recognize as a drip site. It is a pool of water that is used by the witches of Eroth Coven to scry on people that they designate. You feel a single tear rolling down your cheek, but the moment footsteps are heard, it is immediately wiped away. You hear a voice coming from a doorway. The eldest had foretold your appearance here, and with the power of the North within me, it's time for you to fall, dear sister. As this figure turns, Iibryn, you recognize this circlet of horns. You recognize this figure as Hedrun. Your vision once again goes white, and you are all pulled back to the present, and your connection with Frigus is severed. We can return to the general chat now.
I'm still peeing.
All right.
That's fair.
That's funny. We're like, it's gonna be a while. Go ahead and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And the moment we come back, I'm still peeing.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of you would see what looks like the two of them being pushed by something. Not so much enough to be pushed backwards like 5 feet or anything like that, but you feel like this shockwave kind of hit your body, and your connection to Frigus is severed.
Okay.
See, I told you
guy's-
you'd be fine.
My guy's pipe would literally fall out of his mouth and just go into that 1,000-yard stare he's quite familiar with again.
And the pipe falls down the cliff. It's lost forever.
Yeah, it's fallen out of my mouth down into the water, and my guy is literally now just staring at the glistening pool of water down there.
Oh no, about faces and like shorthands, extra notes on top of like the like very minimal notes that they were taking.
Okay, my head hurts. That was ridiculous, arcane energy. No, we didn't get the answers to the questions we were gonna ask. We never even got a chance to ask questions. Iibryn had a memory. That was interesting.
So, do we put the girl in the crystal, or?
Okay, never got an answer.
You don't have to put me. I'm willing to go in there myself, thank you.
Ugh.
Yes, you can go in the crystal, but I'm just saying, like, do we still need to bring her out?
We couldn't get a definitive answer, so whether or not we put this little girl in there is like a gamble. We're rolling a dice at that point. Iibryn, are you okay, bud?
My guy wouldn't turn to the party or anything. He would stand up and look up. What if I go in the water?
Maybe standing in water.
Yeah, you get wet. I didn't bring a
Yeah.
towel. Did you?
What?
Well, right. But what if I take her place? Especially
you're
after what happened.
Then you're locked in for
She-
X amount of time.
She specifically wanted you, Iibryn. I would not advise you entering the water. It would prevent you from being able to talk to her.
Also, I think it has to be someone of the faith. You do not worship the same people.
My guy would kind of just hear everything, still look at Frigus and be like, Maetra, did you know?
I'm sorry. She asks as a question. Did I know what?
Did you know the visions that she would share with us? Or share with me? As like, you can kind of hear my guy start getting distraught, and he has tears rolling down his eyes, and he's physically crying.
No, I was not expecting you to try what you were trying. Everything you're doing now is new waters.
Iibryn, I legitimately think that was a reaction to your psychic abilities and had nothing to do with the Frigus connection. I think that was a reaction to your arcane abilities and nothing else. I'm not a doctor, but as a citizen doctor, I will say that in confidence we can discuss this later, but I think you should respectfully kind of take a deep breath and just sit down for a second and relax.
Yeah, you're probably right. My guy would kind of sit at the edge of the cliff and just kind of look down.
Okay, my brain hurts. I think my nose is bleeding. I'm not a doctor, but it's not that kind of doctor. I am kind of a doctor. I'm a doctor of weird medicine. Okay, my nose is bleeding. All right.
It hurts too.
Okay. Maetra. Okay, I stand next to Aethros. I look at Aethros and I'm like, just back me up on this one.
Okay.
Maetra, is there another way instead of... Sorry, let me phrase this another way. Sorry. Do you need to be in there? Not do you want to be in there. Do you need to be in there? Yes or no?
I pick up oh no, and back him up a little bit.
Okay. All right. All right.
You asked me to back you up.
Come on, Andros.
Probably, if I had to
Insight.
guess.
Insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
My brain hurts too much to check.
Wow! Look at our
Nice.
teamwork.
You really are
Twinsies.
backing them up.
You both see that she doesn't hesitate in what she's saying. She just really seems like she really doesn't want to be in there.
Okay, I kind of like. I imagine Aethros has picked me up, and I'm kind of just gonna like lean back like a little kid and be like,
Yeah.
okay, like just over my shoulder, and be like, okay, I think she's cool. She's on the level. She's literally an innocent bystander in this.
Okay.
Okay.
You want me
All
to
right.
back you up again?
I mean, don't put me down. At this point, I'm kind of eye level with her. I'm cool with that. Okay. Next and probably final question. Okay, are you okay with this? Yes or no?
I have a feeling that helping you talk to Frigus will in some way aid in maybe bringing back my sister. So I'm willing to do what I have to do. I just don't really like doing certain things, and I'm not... The cold still affects me, unlike other people, so I don't know if it'll hurt. Kind of worried about that, but I'll do what I have to do if it'll help bring back Katina.
So you're willing to sacrifice yourself to maybe bring back your sister? Is that what I'm hearing?
Who then you
Like you
wouldn't even...
value your sister's life more than your own?
I do. She's something... She's a bit different than me. She's the next person who we thought was going to take over running the church at some point. She has a bit more of a role to play than I do, and I'll do what I can to help put things back where they should be.
I want to inside check that.
I would say
but
you could keep your insight check from before.
Okay, cool.
You both are like staring at her like detective style at this point.
Yeah.
Well,
I lean in, I kind of lean into the same shoulder, and I'm kind of like, I really do feel like Atina was kind of the viable source for this, like the really valuable prize source, but you know, she got snatched up by the game, man. She got snatched up by the game.
Yeah, I'd say put the girl in the ice.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, you can put me down.
Okay, I put him down.
No, I pick it.
Okay, I wasn't ready for that, kitty. Okay.
And I pick up both of them. Or try to.
It's wobbly. Okay, Maetra, I think we're left with a little option, and I think at this point, if you're gonna get into the crystal, get into the crystal. Also, I kind of need to do a wellness. You guys are not balancing right. I need to do a wellness check on Iibryn real quick. Put me down.
I walk over to Iibryn. Holding
Well,
on.
I still have you picked up.
Oh, that's true.
So I start walking over to Iibryn slowly, because I'm holding a lot of stuff.
Okay, I will go in the ice. Once I am inside the ice, place the appropriate items, the orb you got and the crystal heart on the pedestals, and well, things should go from there. Good luck. And she
Wait, a second. If we do see your sister, is there anything you want us to tell her for you?
Ooh.
that I miss her, and well, you put me on the spot. I really didn't. I don't know. I miss her and I love her, and I hope she comes back soon.
Okay, I'll try and remember that.
Is there like a, I've never really had this because I don't really have siblings, siblings. But is there like anything special that you guys say to each other?
I already forgot it.
I got it. I got my notebook out.
So good.
I absolutely love you. Okay.
Nope. I remember half of
They're
it.
dying.
There you go. She would walk over to the casket, and honestly, she would take 2 steps inside. Those of you who are still close by, because I believe, was it Big Toon, Aethros, and Ono all went over by Iibryn, so it would just be Irini and
Double line.
And Spit.
and Spit. Yeah, Irini and Spit would see the moment she dips her feet into the icy casket, like a huge shiver, kind of like run up her spine, and she lays down. And once she submerges her head inside the green glowing water, you see the top of the casket freeze over, forming a solid surface of ice on the top. You'd see there's 2 rings around the pedestals, essentially, on the sides for the 2 objects, would glow that same green color as the water, waiting for the objects to be placed on the appropriate spots. As the party makes their way to Iibryn.
Hey, Iibryn, how you doing, buddy? I put down Bictune.
I've been better, Aethros.
Oh. You want to talk about it?
I'd be kind of looking at my mom's dagger and be like, no, I don't.
You just want a distraction?
I can take it.
I don't know. Let's just get this over with.
All right, cool.
I used thaumaturgy to make some pretty lights in front of your face. Just to try and distract you.
Aww. Alright, Kitty, put me down. Put me down. This is adorable. But, Iibryn needs room, like space. I kind of put myself in between. As soon as Victim puts me down, I kind of put myself in between, like, not touching Iibryn, but like putting my presence as close to Iibryn and putting distance in between the 2 of them.
Are you sitting down?
Put me down.
Yeah.
I put you in his lap.
Okay, well, I climb out of your lap and give you respectable distance. Sorry. And then do that. I'm like, give Iibryn some space. Iibryn was clearly not ready for a mental mind warp like that. So give him some space. And then I begin to pull the trinkets out and place them. I prepare to place them on the pedestals. We got business to take care of. Come on, she's literally in a frozen coffin right now, and Irini's over there playing patty cake with the literal adult version of Spit. That too needs to get fixed. This has been a weird day.
Patty cake.
I'm not
But
even
Iibryn's
mad.
more important than Maetra, or whatever her name is.
No, I agree with you. 100% I agree with you. Like, literally, this is a family issue. But we need to progress with the steps of this process and then focus on what's going on with Iibryn in a safe space. This is not an appropriate space for Iibryn to deal with his mental trauma.
Okay.
Speaking of which, yeah, how do we get out of this place?
I'm pretty sure once we get to... I walk over and put the things on the pedestal.
I'm gonna say, while you guys are like arguing, and me and Spit are playing patty cake, be like, hey guys, you gonna finish this or wanna toss me the shit?
I have juggling one of the objects. I'm like, if you want here, and I like hold up the other one if you're done playing patty cake. But yeah, we place them on their appropriate pedestals to complete the transmutation portion of this, the equivalent exchange. I'm still taking notes, but I'm befuddled and begrudged because I have a family member who is mentally disheveled while and this is a very cool thing, but this sucks. And I want to play patty cake, but not with the adult version of Spit. This has been a weird day.
Spit big now.
I know, bud.
As you put the objects on the pedestals, you feel a breeze coming from the direction of the large crystal with Frigus inside. The coffin that Maetra had laid down inside and had since been sealed inside disappears into the ground, leveling itself off. Maetra's image disappearing alongside it. The two pedestals, you see the pedestal with the sphere. The sphere itself rises up into the air. You see the crystalline heart. You see it shakes slightly as its shape changes from the shape of a like a humanoid heart to that of a sphere as well, radiating a darker blue color. And the two of them float up into the air and to the large crystal with Frigus inside, spiraling in a helix pattern as they do so. When they reach the crystal, you see they have no problem essentially phasing right through the ice. When they reach Frigus, you see the darker crystal enters the chest, and the lighter crystal, the lighter sphere, enters at about the head area. The entire crystal glows this bright green, blue, aqua color. The entire image of Frigus inside completely engulfed, and you see cracks form down the middle of the crystal, and it splits in half, and letting out this radiant white and yellow light. All of you are kind of have to put your hand up to like not be fully blinded for a second. Looking through your fingers, you can see the image of someone walking towards the party. As the two sides of the crystal fall down into the water below, you hear a loud crash. The light itself disappears, and you see another crystal standing in its place. As the crystal is standing in its place, you see that it is a much larger image of Maetra, now holding that orange color. One second, I'm told my music's a little loud.
It's good now.
I liked it for a second because it was like I don't know if anybody else here. I can't hear the music, but I loved it.
I was picking it up. I just didn't know if it would be affecting the recording or not.
I mean, maybe not. I guess we'll find out. As the light disappears, you see the image of Maetra with the orange object of sorts in the middle, in a similar fetal-like position that Frigus was. And standing before you all, in this elegant blue and white set of robes, you see a drow woman, long white hair that flows back, and she extends her hand out to the side, her eyes still closed, and you see she summons a staff made of ice. But unlike a staff that you had all seen in Termalaine, embedded within the ice, you see as this staff reaches the top, the sides of the snowflake appear parallel to the ground and kind of curve upward into this large singular point, a small diamond-shaped gemstone appearing in the middle of this, like, I don't know the proper way to describe it. Essentially, it's almost like a cage containing a blue sphere. And she opens her eyes to see all of you, herself standing at the height of a normal drow at this point. You see one eye is a traditional color native to that particular elven race. The other is glazed over with this bright blue, almost like veins protruding off of that, of her, it would be her left eye. I have an image I'll post in chat. As she stands before all of you, a set of stairs that were not there before. She's currently walking down. So it appears that Maetra has completed her job. Good. We don't have much time, but we need to have a chat. And she looks and she sees Iibryn. I'm gonna say, are you still standing closest to everything going on, or are you farther back at this point?
Nah, my guy is still 1,000-yard stare looking into the pool, mom's dagger in hand, just kind of almost ignoring everything, like he's there physically, but mentally he's not. Like nothing exists outside of him just looking down.
Iranian, that would be the closest ones to, I believe, Frigus. You are surrounded by Bictune and Aethers, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're like pseudo bro huddling you.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
that mean that we were the closest? Us two?
No, because Irini and I put the things on the altar.
The altar was farther back from
Oh,
where
sorry.
Iibryn was. Yeah, Iibryn was at the edge closest to where the crystal was, and the altar was probably about like 30 feet back from that in the center of the room.
My mistake. So then I guess, yeah, then you guys are bro huddling him.
Oh, I'm just standing there.
Yeah. I'd be looking around. I'm an observant fella.
With the memories
Probably
too
see
much
it.
for you, Iibryn.
Can I make a not a perception, but can I make like an investigation check based on what I saw with him? Is there like I don't want to say it out loud, but like a familial tie?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. I'm guiding myself because this lady's also pretty cool. Okay, well, that's fine.
I almost want to do the same thing, but I feel like I should do it with like severe disadvantage.
If you want to penalize yourself, you can.
I allow punishment.
I absolutely want to whisper to Bictune what I DM'd him a couple minutes ago.
Advantage
Yes.
or disadvantage? What are we thinking? Like a -4 right now?
I would do disadvantage.
Don't add any
Straight
extra
disadvantage.
minuses. Oof.
Ono and Iibryn, neither of you seem to... I mean, Iibryn especially, but Ono, you don't seem to get any read that there's a familial tie to Frigus with Iibryn, and Iibryn, you don't really feel a connection to this person. No warm fuzzies or anything like that.
Even by their garb, based off of the memories as well.
Yeah.
Nothing is registering. Cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah, between this particular drow and his family, you don't seem to see a connection.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Grand Master Priestess. I don't know what your official title. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Yeah, we have business to attend to.
For the sake
is
of
she-
simplicity, please refer to me just as Frigus.
Regis. We are name currently withstanding the Broken.
I know who you are.
That's impressive because you were locked in a crystal. Is she gonna be okay?
What's wrong with your eye?
That's like
Yeah,
a second-
are you like Ibryn's mom or something?
that's a 4th or 5th tier question.
I'm not concerned with the other questions.
Yeah. Look, I got one thing on my mind. It's like, you his mommy?
I am absolutely not related to this elf before you.
What
well,
about my mother?
Right.
Fair. That's fair. I was just alluding. Just okay. We're gonna talk about that later, Iibryn. You and I in a private setting. Also, you're gonna be aware that's weird psychic stuff. Did you do that on purpose? I'm gonna say it for him. Did you do that on purpose?
Did I give him memories of his past on purpose?
Yeah. Or was that like a reaction? Did you see us try to psychically connect and then some interference happened?
I gave you reason to pursue what you need to pursue by pulling from what you value most.
Okay, a little rude to do that to Iibryn. He's already sensitive enough. All right, fair. I understand you're very purposeful. Okay, we should probably get to business, but I mean, can we take like a quick tea break? Can we take a 5? Iibryn needs like a mental nap. Like, he's not cool right now.
My guy would stand up with daggers in hand and just look her straight in the eyes and be like, "How do you know these are my past?" Like my guy went from like crying to he's about to attack.
Like a mood swing kind of day.
The pros of being chosen by a god is being given abilities beyond that of a standard mortal.
God or a devil.
Yeah, I'm not standard, and I'm special. Wait, is that what you just said?
Hey, I'm special too.
No, nobody's saying you're not special, but I mean, like, hold on, Aethros, you could do that? That would be dope.
Yes, I can do that.
I high
What
five
is
him.
it that she does? I don't know.
Regardless of her standing with the public, Oral is still considered a deity, not in the likes of a devil. There can be evil gods.
To balance them out, yeah, that makes 100% sense.
But is your god cool?
I'm
I mean,
going
yeah.
to ignore that pun.
Dang, see,
Damn it.
again, Aethros is on fire.
Ah!
No, not literally. Again, okay, sorry.
Have you woken from your mental slumber now, Iibryn?
Please listen to the
I think you're
antagonizing.
still missing the point here. How do we know what you've shown me is the past and you're not trying to use us?
Hold on, I turned to Iibryn and I was like, was that memory? Like, I make complete dead eye contact with you, Iibryn. Was that not a factual memory? Was that a fictitious memory?
I can't confirm yet. There's somebody I still have to talk to.
I without saying anything, I do understand the circumstances in which we witnessed this, but based off of that and your knowledge of the past, I will say that without alluding too much. Does that seem factual? Could that be an altered memory?
My guy would let out a very heavy, angry sigh, grunt, whatever we want to call it. The first image you saw, from what I can remember, and what from a certain somebody has told me, is 100% true. I need to find a way to contact them to confirm the second ones and third, but I'd kind of look at the rest of the party and almost lock eyes with Big Tune for a moment and look back at Ono and be like, I feel like it could be true, but I don't know.
Okay, I have notes. We'll talk about this later when we're not being pressured by a lady who just came out of a crystal. No offense. Well, okay, let's get to business.
She
Guys,
doesn't like me anyway.
No, it's cool. I don't think she digs. I think it's all business.
I don't think she has many friends.
That's kind of a jaded. That's wow. Hold on.
I mean, she does live in ice.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah, like it's
most
not
of
like
them are probably dead at this point. So
like yeah, it's not like I'm not like
Yeah.
trying to like rip on her, but like yeah.
You just
yeah.
think
Also, she's super bitchy.
Aethers just called her a frigid bitch for no reason.
He's not wrong.
Oh, her name is Frigus, not Frigid.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
When you've been around for several thousand years, you learn to abandon the idea of friendship.
You see, this is a drought thing. I think.
I'd look at Aethros and go, that means she doesn't have any.
You're weird.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever had any.
I feel like,
Like,
this is
it's
a
not that she
cultural thing.
doesn't have any now.
No.
She just never had any to begin with.
Guys,
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in this huddle agreeing with half of this and being like, yeah, but this is, hold on, this is a cultural thing. And I I turn back around and be like, okay, we should probably do business. This is a completely cultural thing. This is this is a drought thing. Not that this is like trying to be racist or anything, but this is a cultural, like, you know how some wood elves are like, oh, I only play with these certain sprigs during the springtime, and I can't touch them in wintertime.
Yep.
Am I the
Yeah.
only one? Okay.
I think this might be more of a she's just a bitch.
Jeez.
I
Hey,
agree.
Freezer, do you want to be my friend?
Freezer?
Yep. Aethos forgot her name.
man, if Ono could do the anime like weird disgruntled lines above and around their head. Yeah.
All that's
Because,
popping in my head right now is the Team 4-star bit. Freezer. Well, what about cooler? Oh man, that's gotta be ice cold.
I feel like this.
But,
is
we
gonna
just
transition
lost
to
a friend. If you want to join our friend group, we're down a friend.
You know, in a complete.
Can I
In complete
can I
honesty,
insight check her?
Insight check for what?
I want to see if the visions that she showed me are true.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
How are we deeming this with my now mental state being raged? Normal?
Standard roll.
I can't give you 8 or anything. I was trying to allude to that, but I couldn't find a way to connect to it. Ouch.
You can't tell.
Ouch.
I turned to
Her eyes
Aethros.
seem to, for the most part, be solely locked on you, Iibryn. That's about all you can distinguish. You can't tell if those visions were true or not.
Okay. Last follow-up question: is there a way to this is a quick yes or no? Is there a way to possibly get Atina back and like in a win-win, everybody, if it's a good situation? Yes or no?
There is.
Okay. Cool. Love it. Do you have an?
You're gonna get back in at some
Can I-
point.
I mean, well, we were gonna have to figure that out as well. There's probably like another underling we could, or maybe we could stop this whole process in a comfortable way by,
We can put Frigus back in.
Is there a
Well,
roll I
like-
can make to see if
How
we
did
can
you
take
get
her
it
in a
right
fight?
this time? But like 5 minutes ago, you got it wrong.
No, like I just the other girl made it sound like it would only be for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She pop
Maester-
in, you come out, you go back in, she comes back, right?
I
They'll be
don't-
on our merry way.
My head still hurts.
Iibryn,
It's
if you wanted to know
entitled.
that, make an investigation check and a Arcana check. Anyway, what did other people say? I'm sorry, a lot of people were talking.
Sorry.
Nothing important, honestly.
Yeah, I was.
Nothing important,
said-
but now I just rolled
He
really
said
good.
this NPC's name correct, and Ono
Yeah.
objected.
You don't. Looking over Frigus, physically, you feel that you are stronger than her, but in terms of magical presence, you feel completely overwhelmed. You feel that if you tried to attack her, there would probably be some repercussions. The extent of those have yet to be seen.
Yeah, please don't hit her. The last thing I was saying is that
Yeah, but-
did we transition to like an office? Is that like a thing that you want to do? Is there like a hey?
How do we get out of here?
Yeah, that's like that was kind of like a kitty is on. You are thinking my language, Bubba.
You believe when I'm done with you.
That is aggressive and very
Yeah,
like.
no, I do not consent to this.
I do.
Super ominous. That is. I love that energy.
Aethros takes a couple steps forward to her. I do consent to this.
As you do
You're
that,
such
I
a
kinda-
young fool.
Is she? As you do
Accurate.
that, I turn to Aethros and like, very like, she probably can hear. Can you clock her as good or evil?
Yeah, can I do just an insight check to see?
I'd say go for it.
Thank you. Oh my god, yes, you're so smart.
Good and evil. She doesn't feel like she fits either of those bills. She appears to be more neutral
Ooh,
than anything
okay.
else.
Clean sweep down the center.
Okay, and then one more question, and I'll shut that up. She made it sound like this was only going to be a short-term thing. Like, what's the deal with this? Like, I mean, I don't really care, I guess, but like, I just need to know what time frame we're working with.
I can remain outside the crystal for no more than about an hour before everything begins to revert to how it was.
Yeah.
Figured. Okay.
And at that point, we get Maetra back.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
She's a
All right, let's
Can't
waste
you
an
go
hour.
back in and do it again?
No,
play
I
some
feel like
marbles?
that's the thing. Is like if we got some bum off the street, we would have like 2 minutes. But Maetra is the only reason why we have an hour. And I think once we pull Maetra out of there, that's it for Maetra. She's gonna be down for the count for a while. Is my best guess. Like it is, because Maetra, you were thinking about like it's a grain of rice versus a huge tree and the power extent. This is very. And I turn over to Frigus and I'm like. This is complete respectful. You're a lot of big power. I have mad respect for doing the crazy arcane stuff, but I don't understand the religious connotation. What are the next steps?
Daggers in hand, I'd be looking at her. How were things before? Are you talking about when I was taken from my family, my father, and then Leonins, or my mother's death, or assumed death?
What?
Yep, yeah, I heard that too.
I'm
The line of
referring
sun.
to the cold taking over the north.
Oh no, face bombs.
As I know Maetra has communicated with you, I am the reason things aren't getting worse. It is not their petty rituals they perform every month on the new moon. It is me.
Then why don't you tell them? You
Because
can communicate with other people outside of when you were in the ice.
Yeah, you're a
And out
murderer,
of
essentially.
anybody in this realm, you choose me to communicate to.
Because you're
Why?
here to finish what your mother couldn't.
Ooh.
Frigus.
Dun dun dun.
Frigus is
My guy would
playing
probably
witches
start
these
gripping
days.
his daggers tighter and start to move in a I'm either gonna attack stance.
I think I liked her better in the ice.
Yeah, I take a step to the side, so I'm not in between Iibryn and
Yeah.
you just.
That's a good call.
Being of Eroth bloodline, you, child of Hela, must complete the task she could not do before she herself disappeared. The elimination of Hedrun. And she
We
would
gotta kill someone?
conjure off to the side, not necessarily on the platform that you're on, but in the air, overlooking the water. Essentially, a beam struggle between the image of Hedrun that many of you have seen, with the circlet of antlers, the long hair, and a drow woman dressed in mage garbs. The two of them struggling, one with ice magic, the other with psionics. She had an opportunity to slay the woman, the former chosen of Oral, but did not do it.
Very likely. I love
Okay.
the history lesson, but you're antagonizing Iibryn.
Yeah, so are
I'm
you saying that we should
question.
kill you?
No, she's
no.
not. Iibryn
No.
is
No.
a crucial, quintessential
I
piece of
am
this
not
puzzle.
Hedrun
Can
in
you?
any
help
shape
us?
or form.
Oh, that's right, you're freebie.
This your
Refrigerator, can you help us kill?
I'm keeping a tally in my book for how many times you guys are getting her name wrong on purpose.
Oh, I don't think it's on purpose, to be honest.
We're at 6 right now.
I just don't care.
So what will it be, young Iibryn? What is it you desire?
To be honest, shoving both these daggers into your stomach right now.
I don't even think you would get within 5 feet of her, Iibryn.
Cute, but very short-sighted, Iibryn.
A short blade, but okay.
Yeah, I think he actually has pretty good eyesight.
Well, there are my mother's blades. We could find out. Maybe she left something in them for me.
Oh my god. Everything you do is violence. She just told you you are the option that your mother could not finish, right? You are that option, right?
Why can't?
This is a good thing. You get to finish
Right,
your work.
but she could have told us that already, avoided all of this, but decided to make us do these stupid trials, get us here, and now we're dealing with her in person.
I mean,
And to be honest, I'm about to.
Maybe Freeze Dry wants to help us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe
wow.
F-Dog's magic isn't as powerful as she thinks it is. And
The
can't
moment
actually communicate with
Athros
you.
finishes his sentence, you two would feel yourself become frozen in ice as she lifts her hand. I'm sorry, is there someone more intelligible among the lot of you that I can speak to?
Look, am I completely frozen solid?
Yeah, you can't. Neither of you can talk.
Okay.
You're
Who's
frozen,
frozen?
Big Tune, and Athros.
I'd
Okay.
see them freeze and just laugh at them, pointing my finger.
Thank you.
Tis
Okay,
only
to-
temporary.
To
I
answer
assure
your
you.
question, that is, I'm trying to be the reasonable intellectual here, because clearly Iibryn is upset, and that's nothing to do with his intelligence. He's just really upset because he's been pushed through a lot. Iibryn, not a cool thing, man. You can't just freak out every 5 seconds. I totally get it. You're on edge, but this isn't the moment to freak out. This is an opportunity. Looking at the rest of our group right now, they're frozen. Arini is laughing. I want to laugh, but we have to get down to business. This
I'm just
lady-
gonna tap on the ice.
Spit would run
opportunity was
over
she
to
could've just-
Athros and Big Tune and begin licking them. Like a giant popsicle.
Her
Spit, they're
opportunity
not
was just telling
popsicles.
Maetra what she needed with us and what to do. And she's now decided to make us go through these stupid trials to talk to her in person.
Yes.
And
because those
for
were keys
what
to
reason?
Unlock her. Those were keys to unlock us to get to her to this point. That's just
Should you
a
have
part of
not
the process.
completed the trials, you would never have been able to make your way here. Speaking with me, the trials are there as a safety measure, so people who are not worthy to come into my chamber cannot speak with me. This was all a test to
I'd
demonstrate
kind of
your
look
worth.
at her and be like, well, for one, we were already planning on taking care of Hedrun without your help. 2, your trials can go to hell. And 3, speaking to you is nothing but wasting her time. So worthy or unworthy, I really don't think you're the one who's worthy to talk to us.
Iibryn, you're
Oh,
absolutely you're avoiding logic in this total sense. This person, I want to agree with you so wholeheartedly because you're upset, but this person is viable options for us. This person can aid us in our struggle. Unfortunately, this person has froze 2 of our family members temporarily. God, it is temporary, right?
It is temporary.
Okay, they frozen this person temporarily, so clearly this person is powerful. We need to not squander their time while we have them. Apparently, we can figure this out. We can get Atina back. We can probably fix this whole situation. We can probably make it so that way this freezer. I can't even say their name right because both Big Tune and Athros have made me laugh so much. I'm having a hard time writing it, keeping up. I think we're at 12 right now. Iibryn, I get it. You're upset, but you cannot keep forcibly meeting everything with violence. We have to be sensible about this. This is an option that your family lineage could not complete. We have that way to do that. We have someone who knows about your family, someone who could probably give us a lead and get us in the right direction while solving the bigger problems. You can't keep being upset, man. For real. You and I need to talk because seriously, you're upset and now I see why. Now I see why you're upset. Like, it's okay. I get it. Can you unfreeze Kitty and Athros, please?
And she would, with a wave of her hand, the ice that surrounds the entirety of the outside of both Victune and Athros melts away. Falling
so
on
please tell me Spit would be licking one of them.
Yes, I hope.
Yeah, at this
hold on.
point, it would be Athros.
Okay,
He is
Yeah.
currently looking.
Arini is poking Kitty in the eye because she was tapping on the glass or the crystal, and Spit is licking his knee, Athos' knee.
Did it hurt me?
I don't know. Did she poke really hard?
No, the ice.
Yeah, the ice.
No. There
Okay,
was
cool.
honestly,
As soon
you
as
did
I'm
not
on
feel
frozen.
extremely uncomfortable while you were in the ice. You just couldn't speak.
Then as soon as I'm unfrozen, dude, that was fun.
Yeah, do it again, do it again, do it again.
Let's not test her magical abilities.
I would
Just
rather
imagining
not.
Athros just shimmying Spit off his leg casually.
Yeah. Yeah, just not even phased by Spit at all.
There's two.
Dude, I don't taste that good.
that's
Yeah,
a
he would
double-
like lick your armor and then like classic tongue to metal. Like his tongue is like stuck to your armor right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess I'd kind of hear what Ono was saying. Put down my daggers and be like, get to the point so we can get out of here.
There is a way to bring back Athena. To do so requires you to stop Hedrun, as you've already determined that you
Obviously.
were apparently going to do without any reason to do so. Hedrun is planning to make herself by force chosen of the North once more. She has already taken hold, and she would, like, with a wave of her hand, give you an image of the city of Caer-Dineval. And in the middle of the city, you see a giant version of one of those staffs that you saw in Termalaine, sticking out of a building, like probably 50 to 100 feet up in the air. The crystal itself having the snowflake along the outside with a large crystal in the middle at the very top. It seems to be harnessing some form of energy.
And this is where?
In Caer-Dineval, or Caer-Dineval.
Okay. Is our next destination, I think.
Okay, but like, real talk. I know you can't come with us because it's gonna take longer than you have. But is there something you can do to help us?
Do you have a contact in
Or yeah,
Caer-Dineval?
or like whether or not be finding this thing or something you can
What
give
do you
us.
have to give us to make this worth our time?
Ooh,
Not-
magic.
I don't even care about money. I just like make it easier.
Magical dude.
Could you make me smarter? That could help us a lot.
I could make you smarter.
Will you?
Won't.
She could. That's
Wait.
probably within her
Uh-huh.
scope of power.
What I have to give you is incentive to kill her and her endgame. Her endgame location that you'll one day have to traverse to.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes.
North of Lonelywood, through the treacherous forests that reside there, there extends a large structure known as a ziggurat. This ziggurat will be the place of your final confrontation. When that confrontation takes place is currently outside of my own scope, but she's making her preparations. These spires that she creates harness arcane energy, and she seeks to channel them all as a focus to this ziggurat by placing them in each of the 10 towns. You stopped the one in Termalaine before it got to detonate and grow. I'm sure she will return there at some point. She looks to Iibryn. Your reason for killing her, well, that's a different matter. Hedrun was a member of your mother's coven. Hedrun Eroth. If that in and of itself is not a reason for you to take upon this quest, to avenge something that your mother could not do herself, or chose to not do in that moment in time, I don't know what else you would need. But you need to destroy her. Allowing her to complete her ritual will allow her to take over not just my mantle that I bear, but more. Her power, it's hard to say what a limit would be, but her strength would be most likely far superior to even my own. But she seeks a better vessel. Hedrun was a frost druid in her life. Given the ability, given the title of chosen by Auril upon reaching adulthood, she was strong in her day. I thought she had passed away from FOT soldiers, But it appears that is not the case, as her spirit was housed within Sefik Kaltro. She only seeks more power, and she's doing what she can to make preparations. I'm sure you will find her among your travels. Or if you don't find her, she will find you. She seeks another druid vessel. Someone who could harness the power of nature. Atina, being not just the heir, not directly tied to me, mind you, for the Church of Oral, but a connection to Oral herself, is a good starting point, but her power is limited in that vessel. Slaying her before she finds, well, a druid replacement would be ideal. I'm sure you will figure it out.
Sorry, what was the location? You said location north of something?
It was north of the forests of Lonelywood.
Lonelywood. Okay, cool. Thank you.
If I want to try to remember something, like, I mean, like, if I want Bicton to try to remember something, what kind of check is that?
A history check.
Can I make one, please?
Yes.
I was going to ask real quick, too. Have I ever heard of...
Okay, never mind.
Were you about to... What was your history check based on?
My past.
Okay, I'm about
Pertaining to the...
FOT?
I don't know, what the fuck is the FOT?
The Fall of the Tyranny Militia?
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
I apparently I don't know.
Okay. I'm asking you above table because I'm about to ask the same question. I was trying to see if I could aid you, or at least you can aid me, because I have a higher history.
No, so above table, I have my suspicions that what I thought I was going after may be different than what I knew. You know what I mean?
Before
Yeah.
before you do this history check, we're still probably psionically linked because not more than an hour's passed, and that's the minimum I can roll on that. Can my psionic link to Ono give him advantage?
Just by being psychically connected?
Yeah. I mean, I could still talk to you. You could still talk to me. Technically, I can. I can't talk to Frigus, but
Okay, then hold on. All right. With that knowledge, with Ono having that knowledge, I'm going to abuse your psychic link, if God will let me. Instead of directly asking this person out loud, I'm going to play the telephone route, and I'm going to psychically push into Iibryn's mind and try to Rolodex reference the FOT to see if I know anything about that on this plane of existence, because clearly this person knows about it on this plane of existence, if he is from another plane or something like that, whatever, if it connects, whatever. I want to know, and I'm going to try to read it through Iibryn and see how she reacts when I ask her psychically, what is the connection with the Fall of Tyranny?
well, she never was able to successfully link to us.
She linked to you and severed the connection after the visions.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you could probably still do the first part, but you'll still have to physically ask her.
Okay, yeah. So
that's
then I'll verbally ask her.
If God lets us do that.
In this instance, I would say, Ono, roll an Arcana check.
I'm gonna check. Okay, cool.
And depending on your roll, it will determine whether or not I allow you to do that.
Alright, I'm gonna go myself. I'll take that.
I will say yes. If you wanted to pull information from... you're looking to see if you can pull this information through Iibryn?
Yeah, I'm trying to be like, okay, I'm psychically connected to Iibryn, and I'm gonna be like, you need to give me everything you know on the Fall of the Tyranny Militia while I cross-reference with my own intelligence, and I'm gonna do that like split second because I'm smart, I'm Ono, so I'm crazy, so I'm just gonna be like, give me everything you know, like psychically, and that's how we're gonna do, like, when I ask her the question of like, who is the Fall of Tyranny to you specifically? Like, I need to know what she's gonna say.
Okay, so...
Like,
Iibryn, would you convey your information to Ono then? because I'll tell you everything if you say, like, depending on what you say, you would know this information because it was directly tied to you disappearing off the plane.
Ono's never given me a reason not to not believe him. He's been a voice of reason and has always been the guy to at least try to calm the rage and anger and bring, a sound voice. So yeah, I would sense the sincerity from him, and anything I know, I would convey.
Okay. I'm gonna say, yeah, you would make a history check with advantage.
Sick.
Ono.
Okay. Advantage.
So, between what Iibryn will say and what you gather both from both minds, I suppose, the Fall of Tyranny militia was formed by one of the High Kings of Weird in an attempt to strike down the Eroth Coven. This band of militia members consisted of anywhere from assassins known for their craft to soldiers in the standard army. They were handpicked both by the king themselves as well as a couple of his higher generals that he had at the time. But basically what they did is they went around Weird and found coven locations where the witches would hide out and would do everything in their power to strike them down and guarantee that they are dead.
Oh, so they're like Templars almost.
Basically. This was something that happened, let's see, I think the last one disappeared right before the year 4000. It was like 3998 when the last of the witches was suspected to be gone. And the Fall of Tyranny militia was since disbanded.
So then, with that information, can I look at her and be like, what is your connection with the Fall of Tyranny?
Oh, young gnome, I have no direct connection to the Fall of Tyranny. I was merely there watching the events transpire.
Man, you're that old? No offense, but that's interesting. I'd love to pick your brain about that.
So you watched Hedrun and my father, battle, and you did nothing to help, is what you're saying.
I had no reason to intervene.
Yeah, that's not... I mean, like, again, I turn to the group. I'm like, culturally, guys, this is a cultural thing. This is one of those cultural
like,
things.
two people fighting. Not your deal.
The FOT militia had nothing to do with my own craft. What they did was merely something that transpired alongside my own journey as a chosen.
I'm intrigued. Okay. I turn to Iibryn and I go, these are good steps in the right direction. These are great steps in the right direction. We can figure this out, okay? We got this. This is easy. I turn back to I want to say the fridge. Curse you guys.
Every time.
Every time. No, Frigus. Look, Regis and Kathy Lee. Frigus and Kathy Lee. So, look. With our limited time with you left on this plane of existence before you have to hop in your icebox, that's super crazy. Where, what, how, do, next steps?
Your next step from now is to gain strength, to grow. There is much left to do before she will be able to complete her ritual, and her ability to travel is hindered just like your own. You are more than welcome to seek out those fishermen you saw in East Haven. You're welcome to investigate things in Caer Naval.
Yes.
I believe there was mention of a cabin for a particular rock gnome. But there is much else for you to do. Grow in strength and prepare. Should you find her, or her followers, or the beings that she can create, strike them down. Hinder her power, hinder her growth. Do so, and at one point or another, the final confrontation will occur. Slaying her in her current state will not kill her, not the first time. A dog barks in the distance.
Sorry.
Killing her requires more effort and time. Athena as the vessel will allow her to feign from death no more than 3 times before her vessel will shatter and she will require anew. It is at that point that she will seek out, if she hadn't already, a druid to replace her. Her being Athena. And journey to the ziggurat.
Okay. So I have a maybe what might be a really dumb question. You showed him a memory, right?
I did.
Can you do that for anybody?
I could.
You got a lesser greater restoration for spit?
Well, can you help me for a minute? I know you don't have a lot of time.
She would look at you. There would be a pause.
So you're making things.
What exactly do you need, Bictoon's strong shield?
Well, so I don't know. You're making it sound like I'm that this person, this Hedrun, might be connected to me, and I don't remember, and I don't really know. So I just like if you could look in there and see, could you confirm something for?
My eyes, at this point, can see anywhere that Aurel's snow falls. And she would look to you, Bictoon. If you're looking for confirmation on whether it was Aurel or Hedrun who slew your clan, the answer would be Hedrun.
Okay.
Aurel herself is not who slew your clan.
Huh.
You can roll an insight check, though. So that's fine.
Yeah, to see if she's telling the truth.
Also, damn.
No idea.
Also, Iibryn shares a namesake with this, so this would be clearing his plate familially, like clearing a bad branch off his familial tree.
So we kill Hedrun, and the frozen terror ends here. What do you do afterwards?
And now well, no.
Can I make a roll really quick just to make sure? But
Sure.
Insight check. Okay.
Sure.
Just because I don't know if I 100% believe her. I guess I do.
No idea.
Can I do an insight check with advantage, considering she showed me a memory?
To tell if she's telling the truth of
Yes.
of Bictoon's past?
Yes.
No, it would be a straight roll, because that's previous Bictoon before joining the party event. No idea.
Nobody's judging this one.
I think
Spit wants to do an insight check, right?
No. Spit, leave it alone, bud. Why do you?
Spit's still just so confused that he's so big now.
Spit is still attached to Aethys.
Well, I appreciate it, Frigus. I do. That helped me clear some things up. And I apologize for maybe not getting your name right all the time. Still don't 100% know.
You're young. Things happen. Nicknames are formed, just like your name, Kitty.
Hey,
Hold on, you know a lot of stuff about us. Like, you're watching a lot of stuff from inside of that crystal.
My vision extends anywhere the snow touches, as long as it is under Aurel's influence.
So does that mean you're watching me when I'm alone?
Not deliberately.
Okay, cool.
So, to answer my question, when we kill Hedrun, this curse of the snow will be lifted. What do you do when that is done?
Well, the curse of the snow will not be lifted by slaying Hedrun.
We take down Hedrun.
That is merely one step in the pace forward.
Yeah, this is a bigger part of the puzzle. We got to take out Hedrun to get to the bigger part of the problem, which is Aurel abusing the North and abusing that power of being a lesser deity at this point.
That clarifies one of the thoughts, but you're still avoiding my question. What do you do when we kill Hedrun?
You're asking like, are
Well,
we?
I stay inside my crystal.
Yeah.
Killing Hedrun does not remove the everlasting rhyme. So, my stasis is still required.
So, kill Hedrun, figure out this oral situation.
Well, yeah.
The
that would
snow's
be-
gone. What are you doing once that is taken care of?
Hopefully, summer vacation. Am I right?
I return to face the Church of Oral once more, taking up a mantle similar to your compatriot Mishan in Brinchander.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
So-
That's respectful.
Returning to my proper post and maintaining my connection to Oral.
So if we kill Oral to stop all this snow, would you still follow her? Even though she's dead?
Oh, we can't.
My
Okay.
power itself might wane, but my faith remains the same. Should Oral be slain, so long as she has followers, she will always live.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong, the Church of Oral is not evil. It just comes off that way due to the events of some of our
Number people.
people
So
like
the church is
people like
evil.
Hedrun. The Church is not evil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
So-
not.
Well,
Church-
we apologize in advance if we do kill Oral.
No,
There is no
ultimately,
apology needed.
Okay, cool.
ultimately, we are cleansing Oral of like the okay,
Right, right, right.
because
Just
clearly
make it.
you can't just kill a god, even though Oral's like a deity, a lesser deity, where you can't just. We would have to go to like their plane of existence where they have ascended to, and then kill them physically, and that's
I'm
a whole
down.
different No, that's a different ordeal. That's a end game thing. But this is if we do these steps. I love this idea. This is I'm finger wagging at Frigus. I love this idea because we take down Hedrun, we lessen and weaken Oral, and then we cleanse Oral of doing the bad stuff, and then we help the North. It's super great. We clear the corruption. It's perfect.
My last question before you go, and Maetra takes over. What city can we find you in when this is over with?
Here, right? Here.
I will remain in Targos at the Church of Oral.
Good. I know where to come back and kill you then. Now,
Hey.
For real.
please go
Yeah.
and open the door.
Not
And let us
without a
out.
reward. You see,
Can I-
I believe one of you, and she would look to Iibryn, Eroth child, felt that by slewing a murderer who was righting the wrongs of the cities that commit human sacrifice, that you would be able to communicate with a deity. That communication, well, that won't happen, but slewing Sefik can help us begin the process of righting the wrongs of the church. So I present you, as the Broken, with 3 options for a reward. Take the one that you choose.
Money.
All right, calm down.
Should you not let me finish, I will freeze you once more. She clasps her hands together. The staff that she had been holding in one kind of floats in the air. And from her hands, she extends 3 small, glowing spheres of divine energy. Your first option, and she points to Spit the Goblin. I can return Spit to his former self due to the aftermath of my trial. Your second option, and she points to, she looks over and, nods at Aethros. I can increase this fellow's intelligence enough to where he could read.
Oh.
And your third option, and she looks down at Iibryn and gives him back at her, that 1,000-yard stare. I can tell you where your mother currently resides.
Come on.
And
okay.
that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
No, that's so mean.